Hello, welcome back to Dada Anime Manga and Light Novel Reviews. Today I'm going to review the first volume of the light novel of Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. Level 1, Whisper, Chant, and Prayer. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. Level 1. It is presented by Aoyumonji and illustrated by Eri Shirai. Well, this is a release by 7 Seas, but is a part of the print releases from J Novel Club. Well, opening it up, we can see the same illustration as on the front cover, and after that we have illustration of the most influential characters on this book. Well, after that, we have a little fan service illustration. After that, we have an illustration of one of the most important fight scenes in the whole book. After that, we have again the title, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. After that, we have the table of contents. This book is about 23 chapters long. Well, the first pages are about the setting of this world, like geography, brief description on monsters, and a lot of. I really appreciate that. Like it helps build the world. And well, now I'm searching for some illustrations because I really like the illustrations from this book. Like Eri Shirai is a pretty good artist, and it shows. Here, let me this one. I really like how he draws. Well, after that, the book is about 330 pages long, and here 35 pages long. Well, after that I have a volume of some Beast signature manga, and you can see they are really about the same size, like exactly the same size. Here the spine. Yes, they are exactly the same size. Well, then, for comparison, I also have a volume of Monogatari series, Koi Monogatari. I really like that book, and as you can see, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash is a little bit taller and wider than the Monogatari series volumes. Well, now on to the review. Please pardon me for my pronunciation, it's not the best one, but I try my best. Well, here it is. What would you do if you suddenly found yourself in a fantasy world with amnesia among a group of strangers who can only remember their names? Well, the story starts when our protagonist, Haruhiro, suddenly finds himself among 12 other people in a cave. No one can seem to remember anything but their names. After some time, they decide to search for a way out, and once they get out of this tower they found themselves in, the group starts to notice something strange. The way the people around them are dressed, as if they were on the Middle Ages. Then they notice the moon is red. They don't have memories, but somewhat they feel that the moon being red is not something normal. Then, the group is guided to the office of the Red Moon Volunteer Army. Once there, they are told to join. Well, after this, the story really starts going. This is, I think, the first chapter, and it was really slow. Like, I wanted to drop the series because it was boring. Like, I have read other light novels, for example, Monogatari series. I love them, and from the start they hook you in. Like, they are pretty good. But the first chapter or two chapters of this book were really, they were not bad, but they were not good either. Well, now our main character is called Haruhiro, a young boy with wavy brown hair and brown eyes. His most distinctive feature are his eyes, which always look tired, even though he isn't actually tired. Well, I really like Haruhiro as a character because he is just another normal run-of-the-mill human. No weird power-ups, no secret techniques, no super strength, no super intelligence, no smartphones, no nothing. He's just another normal guy trying to do his best. And he's kind of optimistic most of the time. He's really saying to himself that tomorrow will be better than today. I really like that about Haruhiro as a character. And by any means does this mean he doesn't have sad moments. When he sees life from a pessimistic point of view, what I'm trying to get at is that he feels like a real breathing person with ups and downs, being sad and happy, seeing the goods and the bads of the world he is in. Like, the book is in third person perspective. I think that's how you say it. English is not my first language, but it also changes to Haruhiro's point of view. And as you follow the story and progress in the story, Haruhiro sometimes tends to be positive, like, yes, tomorrow will be way better than today. But sometimes he gets like, why do we even bother? Why do this? Like, he has some depth as a character. Like, as I said before, he isn't just another run-of-the-mill isekai protagonist. Well, in this first volume of the novel, it serves as an introduction to the vast world of Grimgar. We get to learn the ins and outs of the world along with the chapters. Also, most of the book depicts the daily lives of our main characters, with his new party of friends. Well, the party of Haruhiro is formed by Yume the Hunter, Minato the Priest, Muguso the Warrior, Ranta the Dread Knight, Shihoru the Mage, and later on the story Mary the Priest joins the party. The book is, I think, is very well paced. Sad moments feel slow and dark, while the fights feel fast paced, while a lot of tension surrounding them. And talking about fights, that's one of the main things that I like the most out of this book. They are very well paced and descriptive. The party of Haruhiro isn't rich by any means. They don't have weird buffs from that you may see in other books. They don't have a head start, nothing. By any means, they are financially well. Money is a real problem with them, and I think that's one thing that we don't really see that much in a lot of isekai novels. Like, we always see Haruhiro and his party really struggling for money. Like, it's a real problem, and it's also a real problem in a world. Like, it feels like kind of real, like an actual plot. Well, halfway through the book, something very sad and impactful happens. Like, we always see Haruhiro and his comrades struggling during battle, and but really nothing like sad, nothing bad happens to them. If they get hurt, Minato can cure them. Minato can heal them. But this one time, halfway to the book, something went very wrong, and they had to flee during their escape. And suddenly, I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to spoil it, one of Haruhiro party members drops dead. And at that moment I was like, holy, like at that moment Haruhiro and his party realized that life is not going to be easy. And also, as the reader, that is when you realize that they don't have it easy. Like, this is going to sound funny, but people can really die. It may sound somewhat dumb, but my part saying people can really like, I really didn't expect that from this novel. Like, for this party member to die in such a sad way, I really felt like crying for a moment. And then what Haruhiro and his friends did after that, like, really tore apart my heart. Like, it started like, I don't know how to say it, like, it was going to be a really, how do I say it? A really easygoing series, like, nothing bad, like, just, I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, this is the first time I review a book. But, well, after this happened, the story really gets dark in tone for some time. But our heroes manage to move forward with their lives and keep growing. Well, now, in conclusion, I loved each one of their characters. They felt alive and they were well written. The fight scenes were brilliant, and I loved each of them, and the way they are narrated, it's just a pleasure to read. I love each of the character interactions, and on top of all, the satisfaction that the end of the book left me with, it was just superb. Like, reaching the end of the book, I was like, holy, that really was an adventure. Well, if you like your isekai novels, but you want something more realistic, like without overpowered characters, I think Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash is perfect. And really, Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash is an isekai where the main protagonist is just another normal human being, trying to do his best in this new and cruel world. Like, I'm really looking forward for the next volumes. And here's a little note. The anime is really bad, so avoid it at all costs. Like, I recommend you to read the novels. The anime doesn't make it justice. I really hope that you liked the video and the way I reviewed this book. This is the first time in my life that I have ever reviewed a book, and English being my second language really made this review a little bit more difficult to write. Well, I'm sorry about if I made some mistakes, if what I was trying to say didn't really go through. I'm doing my best. And if you like my video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm going to make a little poll on the top right so you can choose what my next video should be about. Take care and goodbye.